Hey guys, so this time we're going to be speaking a little bit about the flamenco tremolo, breaking it down and trying to understand what it is, how to play it, and how to approach it. So I'll demonstrate for you, just getting started, what the flamenco tremolo is. So it's a bass note followed by 4 consecutive melodic notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the way we do that is P, I, A, M, I, okay? And this should be kind of like a continuous thing. We don't want to break them up and start doing, okay? Practicing this is very, very crucial that you do it even. So you think of it as 5 notes. Okay, so that pretty much is just the basic right hand pattern. It doesn't change, okay? But there is, however, many ways to approach it and to practice it. So getting right into it, let's just take a E major chord and concentrate on the right hand, okay? So the first thing we're gonna do is we're just going to play all the way down with our thumb as far as the bass notes are concerned and come straight back up and keeping the tremolo on the first string. So that's going to be like this. Okay. Now, 2 things. Let's break them down. The thumb and the fingers and see what's going on here. So with the thumb, in the beginning, I was doing all rest strokes, and that's one way to practice it. So just do rest strokes. Okay, now when you get to the first string or the second string, it's going to be, well, the first string is obviously impossible to do rest stroke because there's no string below that, but for the second string, it definitely is possible. So you can do all of them, rest stroke, and then do the same thing, free stroke, so you don't get used to one or the other. Okay, now when you're doing this, as we spoke about in previous exercises and videos and techniques, when it comes down to your thumb, when you're doing the rest stroke, okay, don't rely too much on your entire hand doing this, and you know, try to concentrate on your thumb moving as well, you know. So what I do is I apply the pressure and then I release. So I kind of get this little bounce going on, okay? Another thing you can do is just do the apoyando, do the rest stroke, but don't stay there. So your thumb is moving. Okay? So once you cover all the different, you know, possibilities of using your thumb while you're playing the tremolo, we can get into now what the fingers are doing here. The way I'm playing it right now is just your basic attack, okay? I'm attacking and thinking that, you know, my fingers are pretty much, I'm imagining them going into the palm of my hand. Okay, we don't want to pluck out when we're doing this. We don't want to do that. We want to attack inside the palm right here, like this. Okay. Now another thing you can do once you practice this way and get a very even sound, and you're letting these notes ring out, you know, as much as they can. The other thing is to start planting your fingers when you're practicing, and that's going to create a staccato effect, but it's going to be really good for your muscle memory, right? So we're going to play and plant. So once we play our first note, which is the bass note with P, with our thumb, our index is going to be planted. Once we play the index, the ring is going to be planted, and so on and so forth, okay? So okay, that's planting basically, and that's really good because it gives you, one, you get everything down to a very even kind of metronomic way of playing, and two, it gives you a great amount of muscle memory for you to process, you know, what finger's coming next, in a sense. So it's kind of like tricking your mind, in a sense, you know, to just memorizing that movement very, very well. Okay. Now everything we do here, we want to apply to the second string and the third string as well. So if you're just going to be taking, you know, this simple chord and practicing, do the same thing and move up, you know, here to the second string. Same thing with the third. Okay? Now, the point of attack here, you know, at the fingertip, is going to change if you're not used to moving up and down the strings. So it's very important that you make sure you catch that, and you try to play, no matter which string you're playing on, you try to play the same way with the same, you know, point of attack. So your fingers naturally are going to have to, you know, move up and down. It's also, you have a very limited amount of space because there's strings above and below once you get to the second string or the third string. It's easier on the first string because there's nothing below it, you know, so you can be very comfortable. Here, you know, you have to be a lot more precise with your attack so you don't start getting other strings, okay? So make sure you feel your fingertips and where the string meets, you know, the point of attack the same way no matter which string you're playing on. A good exercise to do for that is basically moving up and down these strings. So what I do is I start on the first string, I go to the third, and I come back down. So okay, you can start on the third, you can start in the middle and go. Which is the same thing, just kind of reversed. Or you can start on the third and start your bass on the sixth as well, instead of, you can try that, okay? So playing around with just moving around the strings, playing, you know, close little gaps like this and open, playing with your thumb, you know, going all the way up and down. Skipping strings is another thing that's very, very helpful with your thumb. So okay, and what that does is basically gives you a little bit of introduction to, you know, having your thumb jump from, let's say, the sixth string to the fourth or the third. So it's not, you know, going step by step, which can be very easy because then you're just playing and resting on the next string, so it's prepared. But if you have to play the third, you're gonna have to do a little bit more work, you know, so it exercises your thumb for that purpose. So these are little things to kind of, you know, get you started, get you comfortable with just playing tremolo. So to recap, we can do everything we just did, which is just playing the strings down, using the planting technique, okay? Doing everything on the second string and the third string, playing these. Okay, doing everything with the rest stroke and free stroke with your thumb. Okay, so don't get locked into one thing, and obviously doing everything with its permutations, which I want to get into next.